What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. Break it down on what's really moving it today, go over some of the data points and everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So SoundHound is down 3.14%, 14.95 the low, 15.97 the high. So very volatile day. And as per usual, market seems fine during the pre-market. As soon as the market opens, it just tanks. So that is often enough linked to options activity. So people just do bearish options and then they're free to bring the stock price down. So clear signs of manipulation as I brought up. But one big difference that's happening with SoundHound today that hasn't really happened in the last 4 days, and that is shorts. So shorts right now are increasing 1.06 million shares, but similar back in the day, like 2 months ago, even 1 month ago, where they increase and hit hard first. That's ultimately what did happen. Then they kind of taper off. So right now, net, they are increasing 1.06 million shares. 32.04% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 105.46 million shares. I'm not really sure why shorts are waking up today, because there isn't any data points. The market seems to be very optimistic about Trump's latest tariffs from aluminum products as well as steel. So things seem to be moving higher. And plus, over and above that, though, you're having a lot of optimism for companies unveiling their earnings. So I'm not really sure where shorts are kind of getting this from. But aside from that, though, there isn't any news associated to SoundHound whatsoever. No SEC filings, no press releases, nothing along those lines. So it's just back to being a volatile stock for today. 9 times out of 10, though, when these types of scenarios do play out in the second half of the day, this is where you do start to see it taper up. So again, something to kind of keep in mind. But aside from all of that fun stuff, though, 3.23 million in calls, 1.2 million in puts, 50% of all the options being done so far are optimistic in nature. And I think that's just a lot of the individuals reverting back. So lately there's been a lot of bullish ones here. So it's, like I said, just a game to some big players. But today seems to be on track for a very heavy volume day. So right now, 4.4 million in total premiums. And that is in the first roughly 2 hours or just less than that hours of the trading day. On Friday there was 10.8. So big money is definitely still paying attention to SoundHound, and you can see that as well based on this. So these are all the transactions that are occurring so far on the secondary market above $100,000. Of the call options that are being purchased today, you do see a consensus for it to be around that $19 range. So definitely a nice recovery. And then the bears are anticipating for it to be sub roughly $14.50. So as I've shared with you, there's still a lot more upside anticipated based on this type of information. It's just very heavily manipulated. And I think once SoundHound hopefully puts out their upcoming earnings, and as I've shared with you, it's unannounced right now, but the actual true date of it. But once they do unveil their earnings, if they give good future guidance, I feel like that is what the market will really appreciate. Even looking today at McDonald's earnings, they had the biggest loss, I believe, in the last 5 years, but they gave good future guidance and they're up 5% or something like that. So yeah, the market right now is only looking solely on future guidance. So that's kind of optimistic for SoundHound, possibly. But aside from that, though, with it at $14.99, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 13.73 is going to be the next strong support. 15.09 is going to be the next strong target / resistance. But like I mentioned, usually what does happen is you see it kind of gets bought up, moves higher, and then this is where it'll kind of trade between this R1 and the pivot. So probably won't be seeing all that crazy new highs of 1644, but 1509 will be that key pivot for today, at least, that you really want to watch for it to close. And it seems to be already recovering, but crazy volatility. So for those of you that are new to the SoundHound investing, spoiler alert, it is one crazy stock. And yeah, so it's a fun time. But aside from all that fun stuff though, moving over here, no new analyst ratings, nothing like that. So hopefully post earnings you'll see some change. No new analyst estimate changes either, because sometimes analysts can change estimates without changing their actual ratings. And so for right now, negative 10 cents is that estimate done by 6 analysts, and then the revenue is forecasted to be 33.72 million. And this is what I've brought up in the past as well, is how when you're investing in a stock, this is exactly the type of growth that you want to look at, is this right here. So analysts are forecasting a nice upward trend for the revenue, so definitely that's a good thing. And you never want to invest in a company that essentially is either stagnant, if not even going down. So this is the type of business that I think is good to invest in. But aside from that though, on the actual chart itself, with it at 1501, it is regrettably below that 50-day moving average. So a little bit of a consolidation might be occurring as well. One thing to note with SoundHound, it is considered rather overbought. So the first sign of weakness specific to SoundHound or just the broader market, you are going to see a lot of volatility. And that's kind of interesting to say it like that, because SoundHound's already extremely volatile as is. But one point to really watch for over and above that 1509 is that 1578. So that is that 50-day moving average. And historically, whenever SoundHound does close solidly below that, and also the ALMA for 2 consecutive trading days, this is where you see like a 30% pullback. So next couple trading days are absolutely key. And as I mentioned in my video yesterday, for data point wise, you have Powell Tuesday, Wednesday, CPI, PPI. So this week in among itself is going to be a crazy volatile week. But let me know your viewpoint on SoundHound. Are you buying the dip? Are you selling? What's your general thoughts? Why do you think shorts are somehow awakening today? And is there some specific negative AI? Like, I don't see SoundHound really piggybacking off of any negative AI plays out there. Everything seems to be really running up. Normally they've piggybacked off of Palantir in the past, Nvidia. Both are green and both are doing fairly good. So I'm not really sure, other than just the shorts manipulating. But yeah, let me know your general thoughts on SoundHound. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And then one final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. And I just put out as well my expectations for this week for companies unveiling their earnings. So I put out some price targets. So definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.